Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am Sheikh Munira von Briesen, and welcome to the Carolina Muslim Show. We have two sisters here today who become Muslim, and one many years ago and one not so many years ago, and they're here to tell you their stories. So I would like to introduce Sister Barbara and Sister Miniimah.
Yes.
Did I have that right?
Yes.
Okay, and I want them to do their own introductions. So let's start with you.
My name is Barbara LaFranc Charles, and I live in Charlotte, and I've been a Muslim for about 4 years. And I joined because I wanted to find peace in myself, and that was one of the reasons that I joined.
Alhamdulillah. Your
My
turn.
name is Sister Miniimah, and I've been blessed to be Muslim 35 years. I took out my Shahada in 1975 in Boston, Massachusetts. And I became Muslim because one of the things I loved about when a friend of mine invited me to come to the mosque in Boston, and the thing that I found that was most appealing was the family. It was very family oriented, and I really appreciated that. I'm coming from not having my family per se intact, from many foster homes and orphanages, and so family was very important to me, very important. So. And have no regrets.
Good.
It's a good thing.
Alhamdulillah. But we didn't find out about you, how you found out about Islam.
We had a brother in the Virgin Islands, because I left the Virgin Islands, moved to Charlotte, and he was just starting a little mosque with a few people.
In the Virgin
In
Islands.
the Virgin Islands.
Right.
And he was trying to get people to come and join, and then I was one of the first to include a couple of sisters who started with him.
That's sort of your accent. I got your accent now.
From the Virgin Islands. And that's how we started. And
Yeah.
then I moved to Charlotte, and about 8 years ago I moved to Charlotte.
Right.
And then I didn't know where the mosque was because I was trying to find it in the book. I couldn't find them, and then I went on the internet and I found one of the mosques, and I called and I went over there. And I started from there. And it was kind of hard because I didn't know anyone here. I didn't know nobody here. I just moved to Charlotte and I didn't know anyone. And then it was a good way of meeting people.
Yes.
And that was real good.
Yeah.
That was good. And then I started going from all the different mosques. I'm meeting new sisters and a few brothers. I met a few brothers, very interesting brothers that, they have little businesses that I wanted to start. And I started from there. And been going ever since. Trying to get more people involved, especially women, because we don't have much program for women in Charlotte.
Right.
So I'm trying to get women involved. A lot of young sisters, a lot of young people.
Yeah.
Because I work in the post office and I meet a lot of people to the window, to the front, and then every time they see me covered, they're like, "Are you Muslim?" And that's how we start talking.
Alhamdulillah.
So that's a good thing.
So the next question that everybody wants to know is, what did your family think about you being Muslim? How does your family feel about that?
I'm the only Muslim in my family.
Yeah, see, me too. So
they
what did they say to you?
My oldest son always give me jokes about, he always give me a joke about, about other brothers. He like, Bin Laden. He said, that's your cousin. That's your cousin now.
Yeah.
So he started like that. But now he's learning, because even when I, greet him, he greet me back. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And he's learning, and I told him I'm going to give him a Quran for him to read, for him to understand what is going on.
Yeah.
Because he just like, out of, for all what he hear, he goes by what he hear. And I told him this is not how it is. So now he's coming around and he's learning on his own, and I'm teaching him what I feel about it and how important it is to me.
Right.
That was make me happy, and he's learning that. So that's a good thing too.
So nobody was very hostile? Or...
No, my mom braced it. My dad braced it.
Good.
And that was.
Yeah.
I thought I had a problem with my dad to brace it, but my dad came, and he was the first one who really braced me into it.
Right.
So that was a stepping stone for me.
That's great. How about you?
I think for me it was very easy because I didn't have a family intact like that. So it was very easy. And I think from a young woman, I've always made my own decisions. So it was not difficult at all,
So no friends who gave you a hard time, or?
I think I'm the type of person, though, that it would be, they really couldn't give me that much of a hard time, because it's like once I make up my mind about something, it's okay. So my attitude would always be, well, it's okay, but if this is good for me, you know, they have an expression, different strokes for different folks.
That's right.
So it's okay. It would never be a problem for me if they had a problem with it. Yeah.
Right. Good. That sounds
positive.
easier than
Oh, it's
mine.
very easy. I think sometimes we complicate things, you know. And then I think the other thing is, just like you raising my children, one of the things I would always say to my children is that we always have to define whose problem is it, you know, because if it's not our problem, we should make it our problem. So.
No, I finally said to my family, look, we're just going to have to talk to God about that on the last day. That's just the way it is.
That's true.
That's very true.
Yeah. But I'm glad that you had a very positive reaction from your family.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Especially
mom
my dad. So that was good.
Yeah, my dad no, but my mom was like that.
That's
good. Okay, so people always want to know about hijab, so we're going to talk about hijab and whether or not you had any issues with it, or sort of, I mean, whatever you want to talk about with that. There's so many things to discuss related to hijab. People are always very interested because that's the thing they see, you know, on us.
I think for me, one of the things that, in addition to families, one of the things that attracted me about Islam was the Muslim woman's dress. I, to me, found it so fascinating. You know, it was just, to me, was so beautiful, and the sisters are so creative in their covering. But it's interesting because I grew up in foster homes and orphanages as a child. So I remember as a young child, there was one nun, her name was Sister Regina. And I remember saying, Sister Regina, when I grow up, I want to be just like you. Because I love the nuns, the way they dressed, the long, the habits. I just loved it. So it's really interesting how Islam has that same level of modesty and covering. So I always loved it. For me, it's very liberating. It's very beautiful. I feel very comfortable. It's something I choose to do. I don't have any problems with it. I used to sew when my children were small, and I've gotten away from sewing. But now that they're adults, I really want to get back to sewing, because there's so many beautiful dresses that you can make. And so for me, it's very easy. And I think that peace is a gift from Allah. That it's easy for you for the dress. It's not restricting or a difficulty at all.
So did you find it was easier when you were in the northern part of the country as opposed to here, or is it about the same, the way people
it was absolutely, and I'm a nurse by profession, so I'd always wear my scrubs with my lab coat with my hijab, and and it would be one thing I know, and I worked many years in addiction services and substance abuse, and so you'd always get stares. So my whole attitude was, I would always say to my clients, it's very important that I look very beautiful every day, because I know that I'm going to be stared at every day. So, and that's okay. And if they want to ask questions, that's okay too. So, no, it's no different, because I've just moved here to Charlotte 2 years ago, and I absolutely love Charlotte. Alhamdulillah. But it's the same. The stairs are the same. People will walk across the street to ask you, in 90-degree weather, is it hot? And I tell them, yes, it's very hot. It is very hot. So I said, are you hot? I said, yes, I'm very hot. Aren't you hot, dear? But no. But I think it has to come from within. That loving the hijab has to come from within. And if it does, then it's not an issue. So alhamdulillah. I thank Allah for that.
It's not that much cooler without it, actually.
It really is not. It really isn't.
So how about you?
Me? It was hard for me to start wearing it, especially at my job. Because I was like the only Muslim woman in a post office to wear one. And I work at the counter. Everybody come to the counter and see me in it. And I have a lot of negative customers that comes in when they see me. So it was like, how am I going to brace it? How am I going to show them I'm on top, over the level for them? When I have customer comes in, I said, I'm a terrorist. They'll call me terrorist.
Oh, really?
Yes. I have to go through a lot of changes at the counter because of who I am and what I'm wearing.